Merry New Year's Eve.
I didn't know what you were going to say then. That's why you looked at me and I looked awkward.
Old me, old year. We haven't got into the new year, new me. So we're in old me, same old town. I don't know. This is our local. Everyone knows it by now. If you don't know it by now, welcome to Wells.
I feel like this intro, I think because we start from the bottom of the town and walk up, I feel like this intro has been seen on quite a few of our quite a few of our videos.
Do you think we should start at the other end next time? Just to
Yeah,
jazz things up?
mix, or even if we don't, just walk down there and get footage of it.
We thought it would be like amazing because we haven't done it since pre-Christmas, but apparently not.
Well, we got some really good stuff, but this actual town that we do kind of regularly, I think, I don't think they've been in a lot. We've been to kind of cities in between kind of Christmas and this New Year, really, haven't we?
I think down in Somerset, they're super casual. When it happens, and we all just live our lives in slow-mo.
Let me live my life, sister. Yeah, I agree with that.
But
especially this time of year, which is fine, and that's okay. But from a picker's standpoint,
it's bad news. But you found some things. What's
yeah,
this
I did
red
find some
monstrosity?
things. This red thing you're just about to see is a Puma Ferrari collaboration. They go for okay money, but this was £35.
Wowie!
And it's a Puma jacket.
Ferrari stuff does well though. They had their own fashion brand, just so people know. I personally
As do Porsche.
Feel strongly about its existence on the earth and how it shouldn't be there, but people do like it.
No, and I think it's one of those things that like cars and clothing always go hand in hand for a lot of people. This is like a zip-up, 3/4 zipped kind of t-shirt, like polo, but not a polo. Like I think it's Rubens Barrichello.
Oh, fancy.
Yeah, it's probably not now, and I think Rubens Barrichello is actually
It's awkward, isn't it?
I'm thinking of watches. I don't think that was Rubens Barrichello.
£30 a piece.
Anyway, yeah.
They had a lot of Kurt Geiger shoes in. I've obviously shown you. A lot were new. They were 27 if they were new, and if they had a slight crease, and they were 18.
Yeah, I don't know what, like, who priced those?
Well, Kurt Geiger is actually becoming more and more expensive brand.
Yeah, I agree.
And there is resale in it, but
right pieces, right time, right, like, it's hard to explain, isn't it?
Yeah, they're one of those brands that yes, you can achieve very good prices with them, but do you always?
No, I would say it's a classic example of if it's boxed and it's really clean or brand new and it's very cheap, buy it, you'll sell it.
Yeah.
But at £18 for like creased or used-ish ones, nah, not so much.
However, Austin did find this. This is leopard print. People like leopard print. You may not like leopard print, but leopard print sells.
It's kind of a funky leopard print though, isn't it? It's like on like a beige or a nude base, but like with a yellow kind of
it's great,
detail.
Isn't it?
Maybe my eyes.
It's great. Anyway, it's autograph
Maybe.
Marks and Spencer's, which some people deem to be the elite side of the Marks and Spencer's, but it is 100% cashmere, and it was £6. I should expect a £35 to £40 return.
Look at this cooker you found.
Look at my little face. I'm so cute. This is a vintage Le Creuset, which is obviously the cast iron enamel
Pots and pans. Cookware.
This is a 90s vintage apron. Hello. I think that's so cool.
Yeah.
That's like
I
every
appreciate
90s
the colours as well.
detail ever, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Retail on new ones seems to be about £50, 50 to 60 depending on apron.
But like fancy pants, new ones.
I couldn't find anything on vintage ones.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so I'm going to put up a silly price and see what happens.
Because people do collect that stuff. They actual like the pots and pans themselves, I know, as like actual sets, not just for cooking and not just for, doing what you're doing.
People.
Is this just a crotch shot you decided to leave in?
100%, but now I think I might just leave it in because we were having quite a good chat then.
Okay.
Is that okay?
I don't know how long this goes on for, and I'm unnerved. I mean, at this point, you can't even see me.
It can't go on for that long.
Yeah, it can.
We can't. Anyway, Le Creuset apron paid £2. I'm going to list for 40.
Yeah.
I love that shot.
Same.
I think the ladies will appreciate it.
Oh, God. As I was saying, that just makes me smile. As I was saying, though, I think because there is such a kind of a core cult kind of following to that kind of stuff, I do think kookier stuff like that, like a vintage apron, could be a collector piece,
I think it's really fun.
Not that it's worth £10,000 or anything, but just something cool.
Yeah. This is Luella Cashmere. I'm being a bit picky with my Luella at the moment.
No, she's not. I'm going to shout at her right now. I'm going to interrupt. So everyone put in the comments, he interrupts. Yes, I bloody do. Because every time I pick this up, she says, is it 100% cashmere? And if it's not, she says, no. poo to you. So it is what it is. I didn't...
Quite aggressive there.
No, 100%
These were
that's
some
what it
Ugg
is.
boots. They were leather Ugg boots.
How cool are they, though?
Ugg's having a moment at the moment. I don't know if you know, but Ugg's having a moment
A
at the moment.
resurge?
Especially the short ones and the slippers. However, these
is
are
a
leather
boot.
boots. They were 18, and I'm going to put the comps up, and they're probably worth a fortune.
They look like, I thought initially, but before I saw the sole, they were like very kind of, you know that like the classic Harley Davidson boot?
Yes, like a biker boot.
Biker boot, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Low alpine.
We've actually moved to a different city or area.
We moved to a different town because first town was bust. So you got to move on. You got to keep going. You got to take the rough with the smooth and the smooth with the rough.
I like that. This was a low alpine ladies zip up jacket. It wasn't Gore-Tex. It was, what's the other one?
What? Gore-Tex? Tech.
It's on the sleeve. I'll probably show you in a minute.
This is awkward.
There it is. No, it's not awkward.
This is awkward. There it is.
Attention.
Polartech.
Polartech. There you go.
Told
Not
you.
Gore-Tex. You didn't tell me anything. This isn't one of those random pieces that people stitch on. This is actually a part of a series of clothing that he did for low alpine. Like I said, this is ladies, so it doesn't command as higher price as the men's, being really harsh. It's true. But by the same token, it wasn't hugely expensive, and it is a good piece.
It was £8, Austin.
It was.
And how much do you want to receive back for it?
I would like £35 plus.
Oh, seems like a good margin there.
Thank you, Bethany.
Next up is... Oh, this is a knit. I want to draw attention to this brand. It's super sick. I said super sick because I know I'm the kids. It's Johnson of Elgin, which is a knitwear brand. And basically, their knitwear is thebomb.com. That had a hole in it. But normally, it is the thebomb.com. And you should buy it if you see it. It's really expensive, like £400 for a knit.
Why didn't we buy that? Just explain
it had
that.
a hole. I said it had a hole.
I don't listen to you once again. That was a vintage Nike training over shirt zip up thing. Predominantly used for basketball, 2000s. And yeah, it's a vibe. They were £10.
I was buying a Christmas present for my father at Christmas time, and we went into a department store that I wouldn't traditionally go into, and they had a Gant section, and Gant's really expensive. So anyway, this was £4.95.
Yeah, I gotta say, I was quite astounded by the price.
XXL.
I was excited by the prices, yeah.
So I'm going to try that out, have a little wingle dingle with it and see what happens.
So this is because I'm such a confident football shirt guy now. This is a retro of a more vintage shirt from Ronaldo, the original Ronaldo, not Cristiano. Oh.
It's an Inter Milan shirt. It's a retro. It's from 2021.
Do you know what's not retro? Sis. This absolute dreamboat.
For anyone who's into football shirts, I did put a post up on Instagram, but I did a post about there's luxury in every category. And some people will say, but you're luxury pickers. Why are you picking up football shirts? Because it's worth 200 quid, my friends. And that is why we pick up football shirts. But only if they're worth a lot of money. Yep. The bread and butter pieces we will leave behind because it's not our game. And we will always say it's not our game. But you can't leave behind £200 football shirts because that's silly.
The only reason I picked this up, once again, I don't know is diddly squat about majority of football shirts and football teams, but I remember that from being a kid and everyone like having one. Once again, not a football fan whatsoever, sorry guys, my bad. But yeah, so we picked that one up, and once again it was cheap. So at this point, do you know what, I actually thought to myself, even if it's a retro and I'm way off here with that shirt, it's well worth picking up.
I picked up this Fred Perry dress. Fred, like I said before, Fred Perry's women's wear has a real niche and it zooms out. This is like a polo shirt material, like little shift dress thing, very mod. I always put mod in the title, but you know, mods and rockers, that kind of like
you're right, actually,
60s mod vibes. I left this in because Austin collects Polo Bear, and this was a bootleg Polo Bear.
This is a bootleg Polo Bear, which is actually amazing. It's a vibe. He's got a cocktail and he's got a knockoff Louis Vuitton shirt on, which I just thought was particularly stellar. I think I went over to show Bethany because I hoped she'd appreciate it. She kind of murmured something at me, grimaced, and then I left.
That wasn't true though, was it?
Well, I seen it on film, won't we?
This is a Lauren Scott, and Lauren Scott doesn't traditionally do well, but when I saw this, I was like, oh my God, because that is anything out there, anything sort of, you know, those people that wear Fred Perry Lauren's got that whole, like, you know, vibe.
Anyone who knows a lot about Lauren Scott, I don't just mean you've Googled it, I mean you actually know, because I could just Google it and see what a green, whatever it is, means. The logo's changed colour, predominantly they're yellow with like an outline. That was green, and I've seen a few white and a few black on blacks as well.
It means it was a super rare, and that it's worth £7 billion.
That's what I was asking, lady.
Okay, sorry.
Give me Jeff Banks. Give me some info on Jeff Banks. Why did I show that, Bethany?
Because
Topical.
Vivienne Westwood, the love of my life, who recently moved on to better pastures, she left half of her business to her husband, Andreas, who already has half her business, and the other half she left to Mr. Jeff Banks.
Yep. I don't know what the show was. Like in the early 90s, there was a show on Sundays. I think it was Sunday early evening. Like a fashion, like a show based on fashion. It was one of the first ever like clothes programs I'd ever seen. It might have actually been called Clothes Show. I don't know what it's called anyway. He was one of the main guys on there, and he always, even though he's like his main lines now are like considered just tame and BS. Honestly, I used to think he was such an animal of the fashion industry.
He's a retail mogul, isn't he?
Yeah.
I left this footage in, although it's bad, because Austin bought this watch and I thought you'd want to talk about it, so I left it in.
It's a vintage Casio. It's kind of around the time the G-Shocks became starting to bang. This watch, the strap is done for, and this watch has seen better days. But they do sell beaten up. This was like, how much? A couple quid?
It was a $5.
Okay, there you
it's
go.
90s Casio, but there seems to be quite a little following for the G-Shocks before the G-Shocks.
Yeah. It's also got the illumination, the kind of
it glows in the dark.
bluey kind of. No, that's
It lights up.
Yeah, it's a special kind of illumination. They had trademarks from Casio back then. Anyway,
They go for about 80 quid.
The watch itself, without the straps, would sell, the actual case itself would sell for 80 quid, yes.
Did you see how impressive that was? That was a zoom into the Orla Keeley. We got a bit of Orla Keeley. Some people say Orla Key. What do they say? They say what I don't say.
Some people say it right.
Keeley or Kylie.
Kylie.
I say Keeley. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I know it's good to go. It's $1.99. I've already got 6 of these, so I'm just going to add it to a massive bundle that I haven't listed.
Why did I zoom in on the pig then?
I'm not sure. I think you were being rude. We get down and dirty for this trade.
Oh my God, what are you looking at?
In there is a
I can see
blue box, and I was looking underneath because it is Kate Spade stationery. And Kate Spade stationery doesn't particularly do well, but it does okay at the right price. This was $6.99, but when I got down on my knees and I saw that it was a collaboration with Lennox, and anyone who doesn't know Lennox needs to watch Crazy Lamp Lady.
Yes.
And you understand it's a ceramics brand, and they'd done a line of plates and like dinnerware with Lennox,
Kate Spade, was it?
Which sells really well on the resale market. So I did a quick zippity zappity zoo while I was standing there, looked it up on the old Google, and it is a compact mirror, and they go for £45 boxed.
Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt.
And tomorrow is 2023.
We'll see you. When are we going to see him? Go and say it.
Next year. See you next year.
See you next year. Bye.